I've often wondered, and especially now that I've seen the Kasich ads, just philosophically speaking, should a governor take credit for jobs when times are good and also take the blame for jobs when times are bad?
I remember, as I'm sure you do, I was the state auditor during the prior governor's time in office, and and you may even recall this. We were on the outside looking in, so to speak, because not only it didn't have as much to do with partisan politics, but we were just a separately elected state office. In April, spring of that year, when we saw what then Governor Strickland was doing with the budget, taking one-time federal stimulus dollars to continue government spending and programs. One-time money shouldn't be spent on continuous spending, and that's what we saw Governor Strickland doing. And when I was the state auditor, we were one of the first to come out and say, with the approach that Governor Strickland was taking at the time, was going to lead to an $8 billion budget deficit when that money ran out. And so we said it then. We stood by our numbers. It turns out once Governor Kasich and I took office, that in fact is what happened. We faced a nearly $8 billion budget deficit. So what was going on then was knowable, if that's a word, by those that were watching. So I would suggest to you that understanding where we came in 2011, and we recognized the issues we faced, we knew we had to close the budget gap. We had to make our state financially strong. It's part of why business wants to come to Ohio. We also knew that we couldn't do it in similar ways, either using one-time money, and we certainly couldn't raise taxes on Ohioans. And so I get your point. So I would say if you look at Ohio and where we are with a Republican governor, and look at what's happened. We've had 250,000 jobs created by the private sector since we took office. The unemployment rate's down, and it's well below the national average. Wages are increasing in Ohio faster than they are nationally. We are creating jobs faster than most of the country. And if you look at Ohio and look at other states that have Republican governors, look at other states that have Democrat governors, obviously in Ohio we have fared pretty well under this governor and his leadership and the policies he's put in place to make it easier to create jobs. So I think that's one case for why policy does matter and why government can either make things better. It's how bad or how good are things going to be. And so would I agree that it's, you can't always slam the legislature and the governor for things that are going on from a national perspective? Potentially that's the case. But how bad does it get? And then how good can it be?